Aren't you about tired of listening to sports shows with all the woke bullshit? So are we. This is Patriot Sports Radio.
Patriot Sports Radio.
Fed up with the national talking heads and biases of mainstream sports media. If it's sports, from the high school level to the pros, we're talking about it. Like the red-blooded Americans we are.
God bless America.
God bless America.
God bless America.
Let's do this. And now, here's Eric, Angela, John, Chris, and the coach.
Welcome back, my friends. If you're new, then welcome in. Patriot Sports Radio Super Wild Card Weekend Recap. It's time to talk NFL playoffs. We encourage you to join the conversation in the comments as we recap the crazy Super Wild Card Weekend and whatever lies ahead. John's here. Chris is over there making sure everything works, putting it out on the World Wide Web, doing all the stuff. Coach is here. He can't wait to talk about Tom Brady and the Cowboys. Coach, how you doing this evening?
Yeah, I'm okay. A busy day. Got some things done. I'm okay. All right.
That sounded like Bob Stoops' answer right there. Oh, got some things done. Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Well,
Yep.
we did.
Got
Pretty
the
much.
reps in.
Yeah, got the
Everything's on schedule.
we got things going. Things are processing nicely.
Processing nice. Getting what is that? The great outdoors when he's eating the 96-ounce steak. It's Dan Aykroyd's processing nicely.
That's right.
Processing very nicely.
Yeah. Stuff of dessert and some sides down him. Can we get some shirts for the kids?
Great film. God, they don't make movies or
It's a
music
hidden
like
gem.
they did.
The best thing about that film was the talking raccoons.
Yes.
I've never seen it. I'll have to.
It's
cue it
so
up.
it's a gem.
Yep. Some of John Candy and Dan Aykroyd's best work, if you ask me. Great outdoors. Looks like it's set in your backyard there, John. I think it was allegedly set in Minnesota. I'm not sure.
The land of 10,000 lakes.
Yeah.
Home of the Hockey Hair Hall of Fame.
Nice.
Well, what should we do? What you call chronological order? I
No,
guess?
let's get it out of the way. Let's go ahead and
to the-
talk
get
about
to
the
the-
stinking Cowboys.
Get to the end first.
Mike McCarthy.
McCarthy.
Mike,
Congrats to
McCarthy.
all the Cowboys fans. Take your victory lap. Enjoy the cocktails this week. Next week is rapidly approaching.
31-14. They defeat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady tried his hardest. He threw it, 66 times? More times than he's ever thrown a football.
66 times.
Good grief.
What are the odds? What are the odds we bring up the great outdoors and then
I know.
and then Tom
That's
Brady
crazy.
throws the ball?
I mean,
Six?
it had to be some of the most uninspired football I've ever seen out of
It
Tom
was-
Brady.
It was
And
pretty bad. You're right.
The constant
That-
refrain from the entire season was that he looks uninspired and lonely out there. I mean, even lonelier when he couldn't even catch a high five from his Patriots teammates. It looks like he has no friends out there. It doesn't look like he's having fun. He looks like a miserable, divorced dork out there.
It's
Yeah,
gotta
I
Throwing
know,
be-
picks he
agree.
shouldn't be throwing.
Oh, I agree, and we talked about this briefly, but I gotta, you start, and I would never feel bad for him. He's still the greatest of all time to ever do it, but gosh, man, he looks like a guy that literally has held on 1 year too long, and
Yep.
and
Like Heather
immediately,
says, old and tired.
immediately today on every sports channel that there is where's Brady going to end up, and I get to thinking, gosh, I hope he ends up retired because I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him go to Vegas. I don't want to see him go to one of these other teams.
Who's calling up the banker for that?
Well, somebody will.
Oh, I
You
know
can bet.
that, but I'm just saying that. God bless.
Yeah, I mean, if
I don't
if I was a
think they
team
will.
owner and the GM came in and said, I think we should go after Tom Brady, I'd say, you're fired. If
Yeah.
that's your best idea,
Well, and the odds are, guys, the odds are really good that he ends up and bounces or lands in a spot that's going to be really solid. But, I really question whether the guy can do it anymore. I mean,
if he wants to, there'll be 10 teams that'll be ready to give him money.
There's no doubt.
Yeah, I said I don't think he will. I mean, what I really meant is I don't think he should.
Right. That's what I'm talking about.
There's nothing to gain. How much better is his life going to be next year if he's making just a crap ton of money for Fox? He's lost his fastball. That's all there is to it.
Well,
versus playing a game where you could get absolutely debacled at any moment and have your future health ruined. Or you can go make $375 million talking about football into a microphone for Fox, which he might not even be good at. They're just paying that sight unseen. Like, well, people will tune in for Tom Brady.
And they will.
Which they will.
Or a game or two. But let's be honest. We've seen some broadcasters just absolutely take a shit after 2-3 games. You're like, he's unwatchable.
Yep. I think America's starting to turn on Tony Romo. I had enough of Tony Romo already last year, but I like Greg Olson.
I don't
love him, but I think Romo's whole act is getting tired with me. Lori's here, top of the evening. She says Brady should retire. Yeah, I went to bed early, and I had no issue. Like early third quarter, I said, this isn't happening. Like he's sailing balls over guys' heads. That pick he threw in the end zone was so uncharacteristic. I just didn't feel like it could or was going to happen. And then I woke up and I said, how did they score 14 was my reaction. Cause I expected to see a 3 or maybe a 6 over there, 1 touchdown and a failed 2-point conversion. I thought maybe they'd get, but
I really, like I told you guys, I thought that first drive the Buccaneers had down there when it was, I think it was 6-0. And they could go up 7-6 right there at the beginning, and he tries to throw it away. I don't know really what he was trying to do, but he ends up throwing the pick in the end zone there. And I think that pretty much set the tone for the day. I mean, he just never was right, and it didn't look like that their game plan was right. That's just not something that a guy on that elite level does, and it made me think that, I think I start questioning the guy. I mean, I start that eventually, your skills diminish, your processing and your thing, no matter how much preparation and how good of, Father Time's still undefeated. And
at some point you're 45 years old. Heather says Will's ears are going to start burning.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal quarterback. And he's still one of the best quarterbacks probably on the planet Earth. But his reaction time is a tick off, and it was very noticeable against that young secondary. They were so much faster than them.
Yep. I saw Dan Orlovsky tweeted today. I think he's an idiot, but he might be right here. He thinks that Dallas and Kellen Moore had Tampa's hand signals on defense, and that's why they were running hurry up and forcing them to communicate with signals. And then Dak 4 touchdowns, ran another one in. He couldn't miss.
Mm-hmm. They really, just all the phases of the game except for one, which is still a phase of the game, which you Green Bay fans might be familiar with. It's called special teams, which Dallas might look into before next week.
I've never seen it.
I mean, you can ask the Packers about how that manages to work out well for you in playoff time.
Hey, you can ask the Bears about playoff kickers if you want.
Yeah, I mean that
Dallas better figure that out.
That's a deal. And like I was telling these guys is what do you do with that? The answer is nothing. You dance with the one you brought.
Exactly.
And so quit asking. You hope that this week that you get that guy out there and you tell him, hey, you got one job, bro. One job.
Yeah.
You better get it figured out. Figure it out.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
figure it out. We got to get it figured out.
There's nothing more entertaining than watching somebody get a case of the yips live. Because the minute he hit he missed the second one. Because I was watching the Manning cast because they had Coach Prime on, and all of them were just disgusted. And I know everybody's been saying it all day today, but I will also say I was just waiting for Peyton Manning to say our idiot kicker got liquored up and ran his mouth.
Oh, that was a great sound
but
bite.
I mean, total case of the yips. And I don't know, there's something so wildly entertaining when he doinked that one off the very top of the upright. I was
giddy. There's witchcraft.
I was giddy. I was
That
like,
was
yes,
number
we
3.
got a full on case of the yips. We're
Then
watching
you're
it
rooting
live.
for it.
You know,
Yeah.
John hit the nail on the head. After about 2 of those, why are you not trotting out the 2-pointer? Just line up and run it off tackle and hope you get it in.
Or just have fun with it and send a lineman out there to kick it and see if he can do it. Give him the Tony Siragusa.
You really think it's not his night? Quit trotting him back out there.
Me and my little brothers were on a text. We're always on a text thread, and my youngest brother, shout out to the Air Force. He's down in Wichita Falls. He said, he's like, when do we start trying for the 2-point conversion? Or I said, when do we throw one in? And he's like, right now. I'm like, what? And then the third, and then they run him out there a third time. What? Now you've broken him for his life. That guy may never be the same.
It's not like a shooter where you just keep firing it up and you come out of the slump. If it's not your night, it's not your night.
No, Mason Crosby missed 5.
You know, you just don't do it. You don't keep riding that horse. He's got a broke leg. Get off.
The best thing about kicker yips are the best because, you know, if you're a center fielder, second base, first base, whatever, you're getting action and it's not a choice. You're staying in the game and you're going to get one and you're going to get it right. But with kickers, if the minute they score, you just get that pit in your stomach. Nobody else can do this. We don't have another kicker here. No, I got to trot my ass out there and embarrass my family again.
Yeah.
Howdy, Skip. Top of the evening. Yeah, we're not dressing 2 kickers for your mental health. That's not happening.
Well,
try the other leg.
And if you think that that's not going to come back and bite them down the road, because Dallas is going to need a kicker.
San Francisco's next.
They're going to get all they want this week of a team that's going to unload the bus and be ready to go and is hitting on all cylinders. And again, I'll say this to all you Cowboys fans. Win this week and we'll talk about how great you are. But until then,
it's not going to matter. They're going to get waxed. The kicker
points will be at a premium. You can't go missing kicks against the 49ers.
No,
they're
not against
not going to score. I mean, it's going to be a tale of 2 weeks. I mean,
I think, Will,
the Niners are just on a different level.
Yeah. Are you on the Niners or are you on Dallas?
Niners.
Some of the sharps are on Dallas right now. At +4.
I like the Niners.
I can't
in good faith.
+4, you like the Niners?
Cowboys?
The Bucs look so bad that I don't even know what the Cowboys are.
They should not have been in.
No,
they should not have.
They're the classic paper tiger, and I do think that they get humbled this week, and we'll see. I mean, I thought the last week was their time, and they obviously exposed a really bad Tampa Bay team who's kind of been limping along all year. They really have. They've been
7-9
teams.
or 8-9.
8-9, yeah. Well, there's another even bigger paper tiger, and that's in the NFC with the Vikes. Wow.
I was gonna say let's get off them.
Reality caught up real fast for the Vikings.
Yeah, that was rough. How
about it just felt like justice. It just felt like justice. You know,
well, and you want to
win
talk
11
about
games within 1 touchdown. The statistics are going to catch up to you. I don't care. I don't care how much you love your team. It's going to catch up to you.
31-24 Giants. And look what happened when they played the Cowboys. They lost by 37 when they played that month-long streak when the Packers were a good team. They kicked the shit out of them. Like every good team they ran up against, they had real problems with. And the Giants just played mistake-free football, which is kind of becoming the Brian Daboll calling card. I mean, they held Dalvin Cook to 60 rush yards, 6 catches for 10 yards. So giving up absolutely nothing to the dump offs and the short passes. Jefferson, 7 receptions, 47 yards, no touchdowns. You know, they let Hawkinson do what he wanted, but you know, a tight end's not going to beat you, especially when Dan Jones plays the game of his life.
Give him Hawkinson and take away Justin
let's
Jefferson.
go ahead and crown the guy that deserves to be crowned this week, and that's the Giants. And was it Daboll is his name?
Yep,
that's Daboll, a 4-win team last year, gentlemen. And what did they do significantly in the offseason? What did they do?
They got Thibodeau. Well, he was there.
Okay.
Then they traded Kadarius Toney. And
Richie James, baby.
Your point being, they didn't make a splash.
They literally didn't do much at all. And so he's done a phenomenal job there. And you want to talk about a guy from the cellar to the freaking ceiling. That guy, 2 months ago, they're like, man, I don't know if this guy's going to make it. And now all of a sudden, they're 2 or 3 players away from being a legitimate contender to really wreck shop in the NFC.
Yeah, you put an alpha wide receiver on that team, and they're really, really looking like, and maybe, I don't know, a middle linebacker.
What about a quarterback? Do you like the quarterback?
I got to tell you, he didn't do bad yesterday.
Dan Jones
had more rushing yards than his running back.
And God, is that such an Eli Manning type of guy?
He had more rushing yards than anybody else in the game.
He was so smart about how he was playing the game too. When they're not spying him, he would take off. And that was something that they were exposing on a great. They were exposing that big time. And I guess they just didn't take him as a threat. I don't know.
This is a Manning guy, right? The Manning's got him in the league. He was at every Manning camp.
Yeah. He's
very Manning-esque. You're right.
I'm serious. So you're going to sneak into the playoffs? This is what Eli did.
Yeah.
He'd sneak in with 8 wins and then wreck shop all the way to the Super Bowl and then pull it out.
Sneaking. You can call it sneaking in, and I agree with you, but they're also playing in the most stacked division in all of football. So they're tried and true. They get to the playoffs and they prove their point.
Yep.
Which I hope starts the trend with their coach. Start hiring guys who look like they know football.
Yes.
The Cliff Kingsbury's one-way ticket to Thailand after they lose.
If he walks in and he doesn't have socks on, march his ass back out. That's your number one strike. You can't come back from that.
What is less surprising to you, that Cliff Kingsbury had a giant painting of a lion in his house because he's a Leo, so that's the symbolism there was his quote, or that he booked a one-way ticket to Thailand as soon as he got fired?
There's only 2 acceptable paintings for a coach to have: ships and horses.
Vince Lombardi and horses.
Some kind of minotaur. A minotaur.
Possibly a Revolutionary War scene.
Or a chick in a bikini leaning on a Corvette.
Well, it's funny that you bring that up because I actually had heard that today, that there's a reason why Kingsbury exited to Thailand, and it has to do and starts and ends with the young lovely that he is pursuing over there. So go in and enjoy that.
Yep.
Questionable.
She already has his credit card number. She might as well get his last name too.
Yeah, might as well.
Elio's here. JJ was masterfully locked the fuck down. Dave Bull Coach of the Year. That's another thing I wanted to talk about when we got to the 49ers.
Hey, I'm looking at it, Jason. What? Where am I supposed to be looking at, bro?
Yeah, Chris, check your
phone, bitch.
Wow.
I'm checking it. I don't even know.
It's kind of aggressive, don't you think?
Yeah, that was very.
That was a very commish thing.
He's a direct guy. Yeah,
he's quarterbacking from the stands. I like it. Run your route.
Run your route, Anderson.
That's not how we draw it up.
I remember with 2:48 left in the game, Coach put in the text thread, "Time for the MVP to shine," meaning Kirk Cousins, and he then proceeded to throw a 4-yard dump off on 4th and 8.
Because you didn't want to leave it up to
everybody
Justin Jefferson.
The ball.
Yeah, they the lights were getting just warmed up, right, really nice and bright for him, and he really did perform. He came out and did the dance.
I heard a conspiracy theory today that Kevin O'Connell called that play to sabotage Kirk Cousins because he knew he would take that check down so that he could take that film to the office and say, "See, I can't win with this guy. Even on 4th and 8, he takes the check down." And this is just all part of the scheme to get him out of town. But you'd have to sacrifice a playoff win for that, and I don't see that happening.
I highly doubt that, but he's accurate.
Yeah, terrible play. Terrible. TRBL, terrible.
Well, and can we talk about something here that just gets all over me watching football at any level? 3rd and short, 2nd and whatever it is, run the route to the sticks. Don't run a route short of the sticks. And they do it all the time.
All the time.
They do it all the time. Even your check down. Go to the marker. Set on it. I mean, it
in
drives
man-to-man?
me insane.
Yeah.
3rd and 4, and we get a 3-yard dump because the guy didn't want to take an extra step to the sticks. You
Yeah.
either A, don't know the situation, or B, you're just an idiot. Give us a chance. Go to the sticks and set. Even if it's a check down route. They do it so much, and I don't understand that in a league and players at the caliber of the NFL. Why on earth do you not know your situation? Why?
I don't know. I know Will's situation. Will went 10-2 this weekend.
Good for
That
him.
online contest. Not bad.
Nice.
Not bad.
Not
I had
bad.
a great weekend until I kept backing Tom Brady. I even bet on Tom Brady again at halftime. I couldn't get off it.
Well, gentlemen, I had the Giants at +3 winner. I had the
Cash
Baltimore.
register noise.
Had Baltimore +9.
Yep, that was heavy steps. Big 5-unit play
Yep.
for you.
And then we had the over and under at 40.5. And we took the under.
Because it's an AFC fist fight.
Yeah.
What a terrible ending to that game for the Ravens. To get the ball ripped out of his hands. A 98-yard fumble return.
Yep.
Not a bad weekend for the coach either. How'd the Dollar Bet Club do? What did the Dollar Bet Club choose to act on?
Spread on Jacksonville. The over on Buffalo, Miami. The big one was the Jacksonville. You know, I said goodbye
glad
to
you
that
brought
dollar
them
and
up.
went out for some tapas, came back and had another 90 cents.
I'm glad you brought them up. Go ahead and fire me out the line to the mighty Jacksonville Jaguars who are going to trot into Arrowhead this week. Am I mistaking?
They are going to Arrowhead.
They're
this
going
week.
to take their
Are you reading this?
live
Look at this
Atlantic
shit.
show out to Arrowhead.
-8.5. By the way, yeah, I just said that. We were. Just
Oh, you
talking
did?
about that.
God
Yeah.
dang. I was like, did I miss that? That's badass.
That's how we got on this topic. We're jumping all over.
You
the
got to
place.
think the Chiefs are just
I
going to
slipped it in there so skillfully you didn't even notice. It's like an
No,
ad.
I was trying to figure out what the hell Jason needed.
Well, whatever it was, he was pretty aggressive about making you aware of it.
He's an aggressive guy.
I really like
Boys and their testosterone, these alpha males.
Yep.
I really-
8.5. You like the Jags getting 8.5, Coach?
I
I
do
do. I might
not.
like the Jags to win that damn football game.
I don't like the Jags to win the game, but I love where your mind's at, and I love Kansas City to get off the bus and the field tilt to one side.
Yep.
I don't
That
think
could
that
happen.
one's even going to be close, and I think it could be over by halftime.
Yeah.
I think that the glass slipper's about to not fit anymore. The Jacksonville has should enjoy this week well. They're another team that really should party it up this week because I think the doom is near.
Those boys will be back next year, though. They ain't getting.
Well,
I mean, they're young,
and
so
here's
this is
the
great
beautiful thing about it.
experience.
If you're a Jaguars fan and you're listening right now, holy moly, Jaguars, Giants, you
The
got to be
future.
excited. You got to be excited for the first time in a long time because for the first time since Maurice Jones-Drew was on your team, you've got a real squad that has a future. I mean, in a lot of areas, Jaguars are a draft away of really doing something great. And I'll say the same with the Giants, which I never thought we would say this year. I'm just shocked that we're even talking about that. But the Giants are blue collar good. Jacksonville does have a chance to really do stuff in the offseason and make themselves good. So enjoy this week. But yeah, I think doom is near. I think we're going to find this week that the cream is going to rise to the top.
Yep.
Here's the thing I'll say,
Reed
though,
Peterson.
about Jacksonville. I've been harping on Trevor Lawrence all year because I think he's going to be a great quarterback. And I think he got the best gift and blessing he could possibly get in his first playoff game. He plays like absolute crap, and it doesn't matter, and he comes back and he wins. He's got his ugly game under his belt, and he won, and they advance. I think his mentality has totally been strengthened ever since the Urban Meyer debacle, and I'm rooting for this guy, and you love to see that. And if you're a quarterback and you can play that badly and have the stones to go out and just keep slinging it and win the game, the future is going to be bright.
Will says Jags are going to beat KC. It may be wishful thinking. It may be realistic.
How many units?
How many? Give me a unit count, Will, because I'm sure
half
really
a
eager
unit
to get on board this one.
Trevor Lawrence first 5 drives, he was 5 of 18 for 35 yards and 4 interceptions. And then he came out after half. Well, actually, no, he had one drive before half. His last 5, 23 of 29 for 253 and 4 touchdowns. They scored on every single drive. Joey Bosa, massive douchebag, possibly cost them the game by crying to the refs and throwing his helmet. They scored that touchdown, and he felt like he got held, which maybe he got hooked a little bit. And he said something to the ref, and the way the ref came back at him, it looked like he said something real personal to the ref, who then threw the flag, and they cut the 2 yards to 1. And Jacksonville said, well, our quarterback's tall as shit. We'll just snap the ball and he'll reach it across for a 2-point conversion. That's exactly what they did. And then Bosa's on the sideline screaming and throwing his helmet. And then after the game, he was still heated. He said to reporters about the refs. I thought he was talking about the Jags at first, but he was talking about the refs. They're probably back in the locker room after the game like, ha, I got that asshole. I got him 15 yards. What a loser. I guarantee you that's what they're fucking talking about back there. Like, he's got a Captain C on his chest.
Be smarter.
Like, you wonder why the Chargers can't ever get it right. They put guys like him in charge of men. I mean, you can't. The young players now think that's cool to do, right? I mean, the young defensive players are like, well, shit, if that's how we're going to be, then let's be like the old Raiders and just, wear the black hat. Start calling refs pieces of shit.
You got to work the refs the way you work anything else. I mean, do you think that's going to help you in the future? Do you think you're going to get a single call after that?
Like even next year now?
No, yeah. I mean, you can't tell me that these refs aren't some of the cattiest people on earth. It's a boys' club of dorks. They're going to talk.
And it's hall monitor power. They're a little drunk with it. Even if they don't want to be, they're going to be.
Well, it's there's an art to it. There's definitely an art to massaging the refs and getting what you want out of it. I mean, you just can't act like that. That's just not going to get you anywhere. That was a bad move, and it's bad. It looks bad. I mean, you're literally, you look like a loser at the end of that game, and you are a loser, and now you're making it 10 times worse. I mean, it's one thing to come out and go, hey, look, I disagree with the call, still disagree with the call, don't like it, may take it up with the league later, then move on. There's no reason to sit there and
cry,
berate, and just act a fool. I mean, and I know it sucks. It sucks at the highest level, and I can get that. But there's an art to it, and like you said, you don't think that people remember that? I mean,
oh yeah. Will says not only are the Jags going to beat KC, the winner of that Jags KC game wins the Super Bowl. I wonder, is that still true? If the Chargers were playing KC, would that still be the case?
Will. Oh, Will's been hitting the Cavassier tonight.
That's what she said.
He's a big fan. He's a big fan of the Jags this week. I guess.
He's all over the Jags. He's riding that 10-2 to some crazy prognostications.
That makes me feel better about it. Average Joe, a.k.a. Elio, says Trevor Lawrence, a.k.a. Goldilocks, is going against Mahomes and Andy Reid. Big difference between Brandon Staley and Herbert. Yeah. You got Peterson.
Now you're going against the mentor.
The teacher student,
you're going to the top of the coaching tree now.
Here's one for you, Will. Let's think about this. Not only are you going against the greatest possibly offensive mind in the AFC right now, but you're going to go ahead and go against him on a bye week, on a week where they've had to rest. So, I mean, let's go ahead and look at Andy Reid's record coming off a bye week, because I think it's pretty decent.
You know what, though? It's not as good as Trevor Lawrence's record on Saturday nights, which is absolutely perfect. He has never lost a game on a Saturday. You tell me that's going to all of a sudden happen this week? I don't know.
if I don't have to,
it's probably
if I don't have to lay the 8, I love Kansas City.
yeah.
Kansas City, you could get them in a money line parlay, so you could tease it down to just 1 and essentially make it a pick 'em. But yeah, I guess
hold up. Is the whole chat going thinking the Jags are going to?
You guys are going to make me bet on the Chiefs then.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm on Kansas City. I can't get on board that train. Not only can I not, I will not.
Who's fucking Mahomes, right? Who's
yeah?
That
I mean,
guy? And the
he's just a guy. And let's not forget
Eric Bieniemy behind him making the calls. I don't know who.
I mean, let's not forget it's the greatest home field advantage in the National Football League.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Arrowhead.
Forget the games being played at Arrowhead.
Yeah. This is going to be good experience for the Jags.
No X factor.
I think I'm taking
no Chiefsaholic.
I think I'm taking the
no
Chiefs
red extreme.
Yeah, if I'm betting on the game, I'm definitely laying the points and going with the Chiefs.
But no banks are probably going to get robbed.
Yep. So the greater Wichita area is safe. I think if the Jags did beat Kansas City, the winner of the Bengals-Bills game would probably take care of them.
That's absolutely true.
So let's talk about that game, right? That's a big game. That's probably the best.
I mean, let's be honest. The cream is, like I said, the cream's going to rise to the top this week.
Where's that
Two
at?
best teams in the AFC are the Bills and the Chiefs. 2B would be maybe the Bengals, maybe.
Bengals have
Bengals.
Jacksonville has nothing for any of those 3 teams. Yeah. Nothing.
But what don't you like about the Bengals against the Bills?
I just don't think they're as good a team.
Their
they're beat up on the offensive line so bad, and I know we said that last year, but again, that game again, where's it being played at? It's not in Cincinnati. The Bills are good. The Bills are really good.
Yeah.
The Bills may be the best team in football that no one wants to go ahead and crown yet because they're the dadgum Bills, and historically they choke. But
you look
they
at
are the best team on paper in football right now.
You look at the score of 34-31, and you're like, wow, the Dolphins hung with them. You know, how good could they be?
Thompson.
But the Dolphins had every possible lucky thing you need to happen. They had they sacked Josh Allen, but not only that, he fumbled the ball towards the end zone, and then they fell on it in the end zone.
And I know that's why we play the game, guys. I get it. I get there's an X factor there, but we were watching that game together via text, most of us, and that game was one-sided by far until the second quarter when it was like somebody decided to jab a pin in a frozen voodoo doll somewhere in Buffalo, and they just started it was the craziest things were happening. And even with every possible way, because I think I texted you guys in the first quarter of that game and said that Dolphins quarterback may leave here on a stretcher. They literally may carry him out because they were beating him to a pulp.
Yeah.
It looked like a mismatch of epic proportions. The Dolphins did catch some breaks, especially right before going into half, which helped them in the second half. And you know what? They did shorten the game plan in the second half. I did think that was pretty genius of them. But
they couldn't get a play in. I think they used 2 of their second half timeouts to avoid delay calls, and then the third one was just, we don't like the play, so we're going to get out of it. Let's call a timeout.
That's where I was going with that. Is they had a coaching meltdown right at the end of that. I really didn't understand how that happens. How that happens at that level. But
it looked like McDaniel may have been vaping on the sideline. I think it's possible that he was high as shit and he didn't know it was 4th down. He said after the game he didn't know it was 4th down. I was under the impression that it was 4th down. So then when we had to get another play call in there, it took too long, was his excuse.
He tries to be a lot smarter than he really is, and he tries to make sound bites to the media that are really cute and funny.
They love him.
And they love to get him cornered up, and he says funny things like, well, the object of the game is for us to score more points than them, and he thinks it's really funny. And really, he just looks like a doucher.
Yeah, most of the time.
Hey, Mom! The meatloaf! We want it now!
Skyler didn't make one off-schedule throw all day long. He made some throws. If he
Boy.
dropped back
Oh,
3
here we
steps,
go.
5 steps, get it out. But if he had to scramble, it was all over.
Like
Waddle, a
Beetlejuice,
couple
we
of
said
them.
Tom Brady 3 times.
Oh,
said it way
man,
too many
Tom.
times.
Tom ain't done yet. Tom, I'm glad Tom lost. Now he doesn't have to go get his ass beat by San Francisco. He can focus on where he wants to go next year and where we're going to win. He's going to go to San Francisco.
Boca Raton.
I was talking with my buddy about this last night. If Tom would have went to San Francisco instead of Tampa Bay back when he left the Patriots, could we be arguing right now San Francisco could be going for a 3-peat? That team's that good.
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing it with Mr. Irrelevant right now.
They've got a good thing going with Purdy, though.
Fred Warner, after that game, said Brock is the reason we have a chance to win the whole thing. Like, not in spite of him. We're going to win the Super Bowl because of this kid. It's crazy.
Well, it's also because
I
you're
think it's more
loaded
everything
weapons
around
at every position, and it makes his job easy. And he's just
Yeah,
and he's got a
those
good
guys
coach.
work.
He's got a good coach that's not going to put him in a bad spot.
Yeah, let's not act like he's carrying the team there. He's managing it very well.
He's
See
the last pick
Debo
in the
running
draft for a
wide
reason.
open. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy how he manufactures open receivers.
It's going to be interesting to see if they end up going on and winning the Super Bowl, because I said it before the beginning of this season. I thought Tom was going to end up in San Francisco this next season for 1 year. I think they could still do it. I mean, unless they're blown away by Purdy or Purdy takes big leaps and is the reason they win the Super Bowl. I think they take a flyer on Tom for a year if you still have that core.
At the very least, he can
Coach. I know I can't come out here to get Coach all worked up about that.
Heather says your love for Tom Brady is unrivaled, even after the worst season of his career.
They signed Brady to that gajillion-dollar contract that they're going to need to take him. I mean, they signed him to that, and they cut loose from Purdy and Lance, and they go that route.
They trade Lance. They trade Lance. They get some assets for Lance. They don't have to pay Tom all that much. The guy will come in at a discount, and Purdy can just ride the bench for the year and learn from the greatest of all time. It's not that bad of a play.
So you're telling me. I mean, if they can
right now, Tom Brady's going to sit on the couch and learn from Purdy. That's what's about to happen.
And I can tell you this: that works if they don't go all the way. If they go to the Super Bowl, that's not happening. You're not going to.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping. Yeah, I was kind of hoping Tampa Bay would have won last night, and then somehow a miracle beat San Francisco, because then it was like a for sure thing. Hey, you want the guy that just beat you to come over for a year?
Yeah,
I think it would stunt the growth of the franchise. It'd be like putting them on Purdy blockers. See what I did,
Coach? I got a best bet for you and for everyone listening for this weekend. Best bet. I am on the 49ers. I love the 49ers, but here's the best bet in that game, actually, for the whole weekend. Maher over whatever his field goals are. we're gonna believe in our guy. We're gonna ride him. All right, he can't.
Crazy.
He's gonna come.
Didn't
out
he get all pro votes?
crazy.
He's good, right?
He is a good kicker. He's a good kicker. So it's like, hey, we might get a little lower number, a little less juice on it. Let's take a look and see where the lines come out. We'll go Cowboys over on their field goals. I like it.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Maybe see what his points are.
They're going to get some opportunities to kick some field goals. That may be the only points they score.
You got to zig when others
zag. Hey, break that. What do you think about that game, Will? I mean, I have an idea because we chat a lot, but Giants.
Cowboys are a one-off this year?
No, Niners, Cowboys. What are your thoughts?
Oh, on the Niners, I think the Niners are just going to roll them. I think everyone's worried about Purdy and that defensive line coming after him. We've seen this year. I know they just played on grass last game, whatever. But we've seen that they are statistically, when they're not playing on turf, they're a little bit slower and just not as a good defense statistically. And San Francisco's offense has everything. It can do anything at once. I mean, look at McCaffrey. This guy's a freak. And I just keep going, he's going to get injured. He keeps, and I don't want anyone to get injured, by the way. I'm just saying, this guy just keeps carrying the load, doing whatever this team needs. Oh, don't forget, we got Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel over there that Purdy can use. And he's got Kyle Shanahan, who I just said is not going to put him in a situation to lose. The only way this could get ugly for the 49ers is there's some fluke things. Dallas gets a kickoff return. There's a fumble, and that, Dallas gets up 2 scores early off of some fluky stuff. Don't get me wrong. Dallas has all the talent in the world to win this game. I just think the Niners, you're going to rely on that defense as the main thing. That the defense is Brock Purdy's best friend. Oh, and by the way, he's also got all the weapons around him on offense. Coach isn't going to put him in a bad spot to lose games, this game. So.
And the one guy that you didn't name may be the 49ers MVP of the year, and that's a guy named Trent Williams, who we know how important that the Dallas edge rusher is there. I mean,
Mhm.
that's a matchup that is going to
He's
be
not
really
gonna
good.
Yeah. They're gonna have a hard time getting around him.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah,
Parsons
one
is
of the
gonna have
best
as
to
good
do
as
it.
a game as he did. I mean, the reason why they looked so good this last game was that Tampa Bay offensive line. That's been the issue all year, on top of terrible coaching. And I want to ask you this, Coach. I've been making this argument. It does seem like Tom Brady he's not going to come out and say it, but he had a big disagreement with the coaching staff on how they should run that offense, because that offense just wasn't clicking. It didn't feel like a Tom-led offense. But when they ran 2-minute drills and they did the no huddles and Brady was calling all that stuff, that's when the offense looks competent. It looked good. And
I couldn't
why don't
believe they
just
kept running on first down.
Why? Well, this is what cost him. I mean, this is where Tom takes all the blame for that game last night. If he wouldn't have thrown that interception in the end zone and they would have got, let's say, a touchdown, they go up 7-6, totally different game. Because if you watch, even if Dallas came down and scored again, if you watch that drive that led to it, it was like 12 plays, 70 yards, and they were able to mix in the run and the pass. But once they got down 12-0, they had to abandon the run. Right.
Well, the interception down there was colossal. I mean, it really was. That was huge. Because, like you said, they go up 7-6 in that game. We're probably talking about a little different game today, because it just seemed to snowball after that. I agree with you, but the interception was not. That was not play calling. The interception was a mistake.
That was Tom. That was on Tom. Yep. Yeah, that was on Tom. I don't know what he was doing. What about Raiders and Titans for Tom? I don't want him to go to the Raiders. I see it as a possibility, but I think that would be a waste of time, and just I wouldn't want to see that. Titans, I don't know.
Man, Nashville, great place to sit in a rocking chair.
Yeah, but the only problem is the Titans have Burks. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. Get a sweet wraparound porch in Nashville.
Oh, I'm in.
They also got Chigozie Okonkwo, future All-Star.
Did you hear that? It's crazy, and I can't believe that like some betting odds out there are placing it as the favorite. Lamar to New England. It's just. What? And then I kind of like it, though, because I kind of like it. They're talking about Lamar to New England, and the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm talking myself into this, because they're also, I know you guys talked about the Cliff Kingsbury stuff, but if he does come back, New England is one of the spots where he might go to. And I'm thinking Cliff Kingsbury, he's used to, he just had a little running quarterback. Bill's going to let him, scheme up whatever offense he wants. New England's defense is pretty solid. Or Bill O'Brien. If Bill O'Brien goes there too, it's not officially yet. It's he's in the mix as well. Either way, I kind of like it. Lamar goes there on it could
was OC when Cam was there? McDaniel?
Yeah.
Okay.
But Cam, I mean, Lamar is way better than what Cam was.
Yeah, he could run those plays, but well.
I don't know that that's a good
what about
mixture.
The New York Jets?
I don't know if Bill and Lamar get along.
Here's why I think Bill would take a flyer on it, because Bill doesn't want to rebuild. Bill doesn't want to go through another process of rebuilding. He wants to bring in some veteran guys, and that's what he's been doing these last few years too. He wants to bring in some veteran guys. He does like teaching the young guys, get them young and teach them the right way to do it, but it's too late in his career. That's why I could see him taking a flyer. If he can get the right offensive coordinator in there with the right quarterback and just let the offense be anything better than it was this year, he knows he'll have the defense in situations to win those games.
Well, I love O'Brien as a coordinator.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
when he steps out of that role, that things start getting ridiculous. But
he's one of those guys. Great coordinator. Just stay there.
Been through the car wash. He's clean again.
Same with Kingsbury. I mean, he's a great offensive mind. Just can't do anything as a head coach.
So
also, he had Kyler as quarterback though. So
back to Lamar. Am I missing something, or should he not be getting raked across the coals for not being at the game? I mean, you're the franchise.
Travel with the team.
You're the franchise quarterback. Why aren't you with the team? And then what's with the weird, weird middle of the week? I'm not playing. I'm injured. Blah blah blah. It's a bad look for a guy without a lawyer trying to get a contract.
I think that has more of internal stuff with the organization and coming to terms with him knowing that he's not going to be playing for them next year. And so he's just made a decision saying, then I'm not going to do anything for you guys. If we've already have an understanding that I'm not here, then, I'm not going to get in the way of things. Kind of like Derek Carr. Derek Carr left the last two games of the season, which was also weird and not usual, but it was an agreement between him and the organization,
Yeah. Coach, you're saying you heard something about that?
No, yeah, I just said there's a couple sides to that. I saw Griffin out there today going ahead and talking about what a great decision it was because he got his leg folded up, and if he's injured, he shouldn't be pressing it or even try. That was kind of one take on it. The other take was kind of what you're saying is it doesn't matter which side that you fall on. It just looks weird. The same way with the Carr deal. It looks weird. I mean,
Hey, Zach.
Well, yeah. You got Vic saying you got to play anyway, and I'm not in that camp, but something like I've never seen somebody who presumably could play in the following week if they won, not travel with the team.
Yeah, Michael Vick said put a brace on and play. I played with a sprained MCL or something. He compared his past injury to this. Like, put a brace on, bitch, was essentially what he said.
And I mean, we can go ahead and talk about that game too. I mean, they were not far away from pulling off a great win right there.
Oh,
I mean,
I think we could agree Lamar wins that.
I had a money line ticket on them, and I was just like, when that play happened, I was like, I'm going to lose it. Damn.
That one play hurt. I mean, that was bad. That was
15-point swing.
I had a 40-1 every team in wild card weekend scores a rushing touchdown, and that was how I lost it. That was how it died.
That's a bad beat, bro.
That was where it died.
That's a bad beat.
Yeah.
What up, Heavy?
Hey,
the last thing I'll say is I don't know any other quarterback that gets a pass on acting like that. I don't know why Lamar Jackson gets a pass. He should be getting blasted, I think.
I don't have a problem with it. I think it was a business decision, and you got to think of it this way. I mean, he's been good to that organization. He hasn't like gone out and done anything wrong or any bad news, anything like that. It's just they have come to a disagreement on whether, they're going to pay him or not. And that's on the Ravens as well, because now Lamar holds all the chips, because it says, okay, if you can't trade me, then you got to let me go. Oh, if you don't want to let me go, then you got to franchise me. Okay,
$45 million.
That's $45 million guaranteed.
We've talked about that. We talked about that on the last show. The ebb and flow of the decision that Lamar has had not to have representation all year, and how it's gone from good to bad to good to bad. It just keeps bouncing all over, and it just seems like it's landed on that it wasn't a very good decision. It'll be interesting to see how that pans out.
I think it's dumb for these teams to do that in general. If you've got a guy, even I understand you don't want to give a guy, tie up your franchise for the next few years to one guy if you're still on the edge about it. But here's the alternative. Now you're in this situation. Let's say they did franchise tag him. Okay, well, he's got a guaranteed $45 million. Then they franchise tag him again if they can't come to terms. Well, guess what? That's going to be another $55 million. So let's just say over $100 million. So now he knows at worst he's got a 2-year, $100 million guaranteed contract if he just plays it out through the franchise tag. So now when they come to negotiate with him on the long-term 5-year deal, he's like, well, I already got 2 years, $100 million. You're going to have to come above that number. And so it's silly for these teams to do this, because you're going to actually give the player leverage, or you just lose them for nothing, or you franchise tag them and trade them, which I don't know how much you're going to get in trade value. Not saying that Lamar isn't worth it, but the price that comes with,
which is where they're at right now.
Yeah.
Look what was paid for Watson. You're going to have to pay more than that for Lamar. That's insane. What, 4 first-round picks? And that's where this whole problem originates, is that Watson contract. These guys, Lamar's like, well, I'm not.
I don't think they're going to. I wouldn't. I would maybe see 1 first round for Lamar. I don't even know if that, because they don't have any leverage. They know he's not going to play for them. And when you trade for Lamar, you're tying yourself up to hundreds of millions of dollars in your quarterback position, and you're tied with him for 3 to 5 years.
Well, somebody will. Somebody's going.
Oh, someone will.
You have to.
Yeah. I think.
Quarterbacks are at a premium, right?
I think the Jets would be a fun team to see him on, because they've got a good young core. That Jets team, they get the right quarterback in there. I think
they are truly a quarterback away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like their coach a lot. I think he's doing things to unjets the Jets,
and hopefully Breece Hall can come back and from the ACL injury. I mean, he was going to be offensive rookie of the year the way that guy was.
Forgot about Breece Hall.
Easily.
Yeah, he was on my fantasy.
We could have had 2 Cyclones right at the top, Breece Hall and Brock Purdy for rookie of the year. You just draft Cyclones and you'll be good. Allen Lazard, case in point, UDFA to starter.
Do you guys think I'm crazy for thinking that the winner of the KC Jacksonville game goes to the Super Bowl? Because my whole thing is I don't like how the Bills or Cincinnati's playing. The reason why Cincinnati don't like how they're playing is their offensive line. They keep losing people, and
they lost a third
happens.
starter.
That's what I'm saying. And
Hold up, Will. I'm 50% not on board with you. If the Chiefs go, yeah, they have an absolute chance to win the Super Bowl for sure. I mean, to go to the Super Bowl, absolutely. But Jacksonville, I think
Jacksonville. If Jacksonville beats KC this week, there's nothing.
First off, that's not
reason why they can't.
First off, that's not happening.
We'll see.
We could see both one seeds get done this week.
We're really blinded by this notion that what happened last week is just lightning's going to strike twice. This isn't the same team, and they're going on the road to play in a very hostile environment against a team that's kind of goodish.
I'll tell you what, take the points with them though, because KC doesn't cover at home. They don't cover big spreads or cover
especially
at home.
A number like an 8.5.
And listen to this. This is another best bet that I have for this week. Jacksonville's going to score first in that game. It just feels like one of those. Everyone's like Jacksonville comes off their play from behind team. They get off to a slow start. I feel like that's just been the narrative, especially after they were just down 27-0. Imagine what the Chiefs are going to do. Meanwhile, we know the Chiefs can come out a little lackadaisical and then they'll kick it into gear. So I think you're going to get plus money on I know you're going to get plus money on Jacksonville to score first in the game, and I kind of like it. Especially there's a 50-50 chance to get the ball first.
Yep.
Little
trick play to Agnew.
What's Reid's record coming off a bye?
Really, really good.
Pretty good.
Let's see about in the playoffs though. There's also
that's what I'm asking. I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't have the stat. I don't have the stats yet, but there's a huge trend, and Heavy Steps and I were talking about it today. Huge trend of those number one seeds coming off a bye and it not being good for them, especially against the spread. So
I think the Eagles are more vulnerable than the Chiefs. Even the Giants almost beat them with backups a couple of weeks ago. And
the Hurts deal makes you nervous. If you're an Eagles fan right now, I'm not sure he's 100%.
Yeah, because if he's not, it takes one sack, one tackle, one to re-aggravate that. Now, don't worry, they got my boy Gardner Minshew back there, so I mean, the mustache can help him out. But I don't know. I think I like the points with the Giants in that game.
That's a good point,
Live
Coach.
dog.
Yeah, I'd be nervous to bet that. You don't
turn your $1 into $5.
I think I might look elsewhere. That one, I'll go back to what we were talking about there because I really like the argument. The two best AFC teams by far above and away are the Bills and the Chiefs. Can we not all agree on that?
Yes. Now that the Bengals O-line is beat up, otherwise I would have argued that the Bengals
how can you trust Allen right now though? The guy keeps making these dumb mistakes
concerning
and fumbles.
I'll trust him because he's a great athlete. I mean, that dude is. For every mistake he makes, he takes a play that's a negative and turns it into a positive.
When he puts the cape on in the fourth quarter, he says, "Fuck it, I'm about to get 60 rushing yards right now." An
anomaly. I mean, there's not guys that are as big as him that move like he does very often, and he does some really amazing things with the rocket arm. They're good. They are really good and balanced. They're a balanced team.
I do want to say one warning to the bettors out there. This week, if you notice where the lines are, they look really, really good to do some teasers. And the books know that they're in teaser liability, and they're still putting the numbers where they're putting it. Fair warning, do not go too crazy on teasers this week. It looks too good to be true. It looks too easy to tease some of these favorites down. I'd be very cautious. Tease some of these totals over based off of all the games going over last week, over this last weekend. So just a fair warning if you're into teasers. And trust me, I love betting my teasers. So I'm being very cautious this week.
Well, and Heavy's making a good point right here. He's talking about the Giants, and people start drinking the Kool-Aid, much like when they see the Jacksonville Jaguars win last week, and then they come on here and try to say they're gonna beat the number one seed. It's easy to get carried away with these momentum of these teams, gentlemen.
I think they're just playing good. I think they're playing good football down the stretch, though. Don't get me wrong.
They are.
Kansas City should be favored. Kansas City should win the game. But I mean, if I'm getting more and more respect for Doug Peterson as a coach, because that guy is
no doubt
he's gonna have them in a position. Now, don't get me wrong. If Lawrence goes out there and shits the bed, then he shits the bed. But like you were saying earlier, he kind of got his bad game out of the way. I mean, what a blessing. I heard you guys talking about that earlier. And I'm like, that he's not going to go out and throw 4 interceptions and a half again. Right. Or it's highly unlikely. But I think it's going to be closer than people think. Just how I thought last week, and this doesn't mean I'm going to be right, but I go, this Baltimore-Cincy game is going to be close. Cincy's probably going to win this, but it feels like it come down to a field goal at the end of the game. Now, this is not a divisional game, but I don't know. I think Jacksonville is going to play with like they got nothing to lose. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was this. If Jacksonville came out on fire, maybe they made a defensive play, got a defensive score or something like that. And let's say Jacksonville's leading by 3-7 or whatever at halftime. Wouldn't surprise me at all. But then I would fully expect that kind of to wear off, Kansas City to take care of business in the second half and win that game. But I think Jacksonville's got. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, and I don't think.
I wonder
really any.
What's the spread of the first half?
Now that may be a better look. That may be a better look right there.
Yeah,
probably around 4.5, 5.
I saw Coach give a nod on that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like what you're saying, and I like
5.
the points you're making.
Chiefs,
let's not forget
Chiefs +5,
-5.
Chiefs. I could bet the Jags +5 there on the first half, and not be all mad about it, because I could totally see that happening. Absolutely.
Yeah, Kansas
What
City.
about winning in the first half? Could you see them win in the first half? Maybe.
I may
Seattle won the first
line.
half this week against San Francisco.
Yep. I like those first half full game double results are a nice little way to juice up your prop bets. Go Jacksonville first half, KC full game.
I think I like the Giants in the first half better than I like the Jacksonville first half.
Yep. I like the Giants, and then all of a sudden, we're going to see A.J. Brown out there in the visor catch a 60-yard bomb. We're going, oh, yeah, that's right, the Eagles. They were 11-0 at one point.
Does anybody have a real concern that Hurts is actually injured?
Yeah, I think you got to at least account for 25% risk that he's not fully there.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking about how much pain he was in after that Giants game.
And Philadelphia, I mean, I'm sure the week off helped him, but Philadelphia they're sure not rolling out the full story there.
But here's the other thing. Here's the other thing too with it. Even if he is, let's say, close to 100%, they did not play. Philadelphia as a team did not play a great December month of football. He didn't play in I don't know how many weeks it's been now. So he's also not been throwing, not been in timing routes with his guys, not been in the offense. I know he's got this week to practice or whatnot, but he's not in a good groove to go into the playoffs where you want to be kind of in sync, lined up. I mean, look at the Giants. The Giants looked good last week. They seemed to be.
The Giants are blue collar true, man. They do some stuff. They really do. Yeah. I love that.
They've got a real football coach.
Well, I'll tell you this too. People are going to talk about, because I'll bring it up with the Cowboys. It's the same situation for the Giants. The Giants, this is going to be their 5th road game in the last 6 games. So that doesn't really go well for you. But if you actually look stadium to stadium from MetLife to the Philly Stadium, it's less than 100 miles. So how much is this really a road game? I mean, the travel's not all that much. Not like with Dallas, who just went to Tampa, has to come back home and then fly all the way out to the West Coast for their 5th out of 6 road game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there might be a little bit of shenanigans up in Philadelphia, though, if they find out which hotel they're at. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past Philly to put their thumb on the scale.
Well, what time is that game? They might come down. They might come down the morning of.
Philly fans are good as gold, sir.
I lived in Philadelphia for 2.5 years.
Get out of here.
They're the best.
I have never met a more redheaded stepchild city than Philadelphia.
Chris has some trends pulled up for us. The one says, when in doubt, fade home favorites. All but 3 divisional round home teams have been favored, just blindly fading those favorites at $100 bet every game over the past 2 decades would have returned $943 in profit, or a 12.9% return. And fade divisional round home favorites. That's 26. Divisional round home favorites are 26 and 47 ATS. What is this?
On the money line?
Road underdog money lines have an impressive 23.9% return on investment in the divisional round over the past 2 decades. $100 better would be up 15.21. Interesting. So you just take these underdogs to win, huh?
Yeah.
Number 1 seeds.
Why we're on Jacksonville.
Yeah, that Giants Eagles game's at 8:15.
Well,
right, so.
I mean, it's time to parlay the Jags and the Giants again. I did it last week with too much success.
Hey, Yeah, that game screams Jags all the way down that list.
Hey, it doesn't hurt to take a little bit on these dogs, and then if you have the capability to live bet, you live bet if they end up doing well and get a lead, and then maybe you can get Kansas City at plus money at some point, or at least near close to even money, right?
Kansas City's a great live bet team. They go down 10 points and you just bet them. That's just what you do.
Yeah, I did that with the Giants this last week. I had the Giants at plus money, and then at one point towards the fourth quarter, the Vikings were plus money. I took them. I also had a parlay ending on it. Once the over hit, I bet the Vikings money line because I had a nice little. I went to the casino up here in Spokane, and they actually have a sports book now. It's like one of the only ones in the state. So I went in there, and I already had all my bets placed from my normal betting and whatnot. But I wanted to get a ticket in my hand, so I did a couple $10 like big long shot parlays. Well, I hit one, a little $10 turned into a $700 slip. I
always feel better with the slip in my hand too.
Oh yeah,
I can't wait to walk up.
You got it.
Cash,
ticket right here.
Cash
Right
counted out to
here.
me.
Yep.
Heck yeah. So
That's the best.
you know
You
what's
didn't have
surprising
to-
too is surprising too is now my wife, now that she knows this, she goes, "Oh, I can come with you to the casino when you go cash that." I'm like, "Oh, now you want to come, huh?"
Yeah.
No, it's only a
Weird.
$200 ticket.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
That's
that's exactly right.
She's already spending that money, man.
It's already
no,
gone.
she's actually really good about that.
That's nice. Count out a stack
like-
of cash in front of
Is
you.
it
You
your
don't have to-
anniversary? Why are you talking like that?
Yeah.
You watching?
Yep, he's scoring points. Heather says, "Coach, it's like
So
nope."
we like the Bills. Everybody like the Bills and the Bills Bengals.
Yep. Yeah. Bills, Jags, Niners, Giants for me.
I'm right
I'm
there
on the
with you.
Bengals.
I kind of
I
like
think
the Bengals too.
I think Joe pulls this out. This comes down to the
That's what she
quarterbacks and Joe. He got the cigar. It's
That's
over.
what she said.
They got some
Smooth Joe.
backups in the secondary. I don't think the Bills are. They didn't look great. I don't know. We'll
Disjointed is
see.
the word
We'll
I'd
see.
use.
Yeah.
Like they have a high-powered offense. They can score the points, but man,
What's the line on that
really-
one?
The Bills,
Bills.
-5, -5,
Yep.
-4.5.
fiver? Let's see. Jags, Giants.
Anyways, gentlemen,
Bills.
I got to take off. It was fun chatting
Alright.
with you. We'll do it again later this week. And
Hell yeah.
cash the
Well,
tickets
we
this
will
weekend.
be. We'll have some more bets coming up on Saturday. I'm
Oh,
sure.
plenty.
Yeah, you guys are gonna have to help me finalize my contest picks because man, 10
you're
and
up
2.
there.
And if I would have just not been a Brady homer, I could have been 11 and 1 and just sitting pretty. But we're tied. We're tied in first. A little $20,000 top prize. That's what we're going for. I go 8-0 this week. It's a pretty much guaranteed lock. It's tough though. You got to pick every side and every total.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
it's a lot. Totals.
Yeah.
Totals are tricky. There's a lot at play there. Heavy says the Bills might get Micah Hyde back. That'd be a big deal. Micah
Really?
Hyde in
Mhm.
uniform on the field and DeMar Hamlin up in the box.
Mhm.
Can't lose.
Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Thanks, Will. We'll see you
you,
later.
Will.
What we got here? An hour 3. I mean, what do we got left? Well, we got corn pop of the week left.
Niners and Cowboys. What's that line again?
Niners and Cowboys is San Francisco -3.5. Bills.
Boy, I wish that was
-5.
bigger.
If a guy parlayed the Jags, the Giants, the Bills, and the Niners to just win their football games, he would get $37 for every dollar he wagered. Not a bad deal right there.
Jags getting 8.
Jags getting 8.5. That half
Is that on the money line or on the spread?
Yep, nope, just money line. But the Jags are +350 and the Giants are +285.
Yeah, those help out on the bet.
Yep. That
the
right
Gi-
there alone is 16-1. Giants and Jags. Oh, I am doing that.
How many of the Giants getting?
The New York Giants are getting 7.5.
Ooh,
Come
that's
on.
too
Gosh,
many.
I like that.
I love that
A
bet.
divisional game? I
That's
mean, they just beat them what?
Guys, that's it. That's
That's
the
the
20
bet, right, Coach?
20-16
I like that.
in week 18. They beat them.
You better
I-
get that in because they're going to bet that down, Coach. That's not going
that's
to be
coming
there
down.
on Friday.
I like the Giants getting the 7.5. You're getting a tug. You're getting a touchdown on that. The Giants, I mean, going into Philly on a beat up quarterback. I don't know. They hadn't played. I mean, Will hit the nail on the head. they're not hitting their stride right now. Now, back when they're good. Don't get me wrong, but
so are the Giants.
Seem to be hitting their stride right now. The Giants. Do you not think the Giants come in and muck that game up a little bit? If it's a low scoring game, what's the over and under? What's the total?
48.
48. Well, that's high.
So I like the under in that, and the Giants getting 7.5. I think that's of all the ones I look at on the board. I really love KC to win the game. I don't know if they cover the 8.5. That's a lot of points. The Bills. I like the Bills to win the game, but again, I could see it coming down to a Bills drive and a field goal to win it. The 49ers deal. The 49ers I think win, but that
could be a competitive game.
That could be competitive late. I think the 49ers win it. That would be my second bet if I was looking at this. I like the Giants in the under, and I also like the 49ers. 3.5, the half is the kicker.
Yeah. Heavy says the Jags will get a better number, so wait, could get to 9, 9.5, maybe 10.
He says it's going up.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're going to bet it up.
There'll be Chiefs money coming in, evidently.
Boy, and if it gets to 9.5, 10, I could get on the side of the Jaguars, but I'm not prepared to jump all over the Jaguars. You're not money lining
those guys.
I'm not drinking the Jaguars Kool-Aid just yet. We're not crowning them just yet.
Nope. They did have a great half of football.
Not going into Arrowhead. Because literally, and Will is right. The half is where it's at on that, because you could bet the Jags in the first half and probably be doing pretty good. The problem is that Kansas City will come out and score 25 unanswered.
In the third quarter, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. They like to do that. That's kind of their thing. They like to fall behind and make you think they're not going to win the game.
John, what's your play of the week, brother?
I just put it in.
What is it?
Dollar Bet Club.
Dollar Bet Club. I got a little
hashtag
greedy.
Dollar Bet Club.
Yeah. I just picked 3 underdogs. Money line, Giants, Bengals, Cowboys. See what hits. I couldn't go with the Jags. I can't do it.
You couldn't stomach that?
I can't do it. It's $1, man.
That's a whole $1.
Yeah.
I had it in there, but
sounds like me on allowance day. It's a whole $1.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it this week.
But as soon as I replenish my funds, I'll put money on the spread for the Giants for sure. 7.5.
John, breaking news. Cubs snag Julian Mayweather off waivers today. Building a squad.
They are building a squad. They got Mancini.
Keontae Johnson.
Hear this shit.
Never too early. Never too early, Brewers fans.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Angela was asking about Cubs convention, and the only people I know that go to the Cubs convention go to Boo. I ain't going until they let Sammy join. Which may never happen.
Kansas and K-State are going to overtime. Ooh.
Who?
Hey, you sent me a pic. Is Corey Hart with the Brewers right now down at
I think he must be working with the Brewers or somehow associated, because I know Lucroy is working for the Brewers, and I saw Lucroy in the picture.
I think you guys are in negotiations with Lou Brown.
Lou Dort?
Lou Brown. The Brewers.
We might get Kyler Murray.
They can get him from the tire warehouse. It might be a deal.
Yeah, Kyler Murray might just go ahead and switch professions.
Yeah, let's get Kyler Murray in here.
I don't know about your Cowboys bet there, my man. I don't know that half really. I don't know.
I mean,
I don't like it.
It's a long shot. I know that. We'll see.
It's a $1 Bet Club.
The other one's got
$1 Bet Club.
It's a $1 Bet Club. We're
We're
mixing it
screw
up.
around and win 29-40.
29-40. I like it.
That would not be bad. Well, should we do the corn pop and get the heck out of here?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna tell it. Corn pop's a bad, and he ran with some bad boys.
We lost a dude in there. Yeah, no dude left behind.
No dudes left.
I'm gonna tell it. Corn pop's a bad dude.
There's the dude.
And he ran with some bad boys.
Indeed. Each week here at Patriot Sports, we shine a spotlight on a player who displayed exemplary badassery and or toughness on the gridiron by naming them our corn pop of the week. This week's nominees are Raheem Mostert, who didn't play against the Bills, but he went to 3 different doctors during the week trying to find one who would sign off on him playing football.
Couldn't get
This
Couldn't get
addict
it
behavior.
done.
That is addict behavior.
He went doctor shopping to play
You
football.
got any of them slips that let me play?
Got any of them slips?
Did we give it to Hillis
More
last week?
downs, Doc?
Yeah, we
Like
gave it to
30
Hillis.
downs I could play.
Daniel Jones.
Danny Jones.
We do have we have Daniel Jones in the hopper from Heavy Steps. Put him in
I'm
there.
going Trevor
Danny
Lawrence just because
Dimes.
it takes a lot of stones to just go out there and keep slinging it.
Yep.
Who'd you have? Who'd you say?
Trevor Lawrence. To come back from 4 picks and keep slinging it and win the game, that takes some stones.
T. Lawrence? No.
He's my boy, though.
Danny Dimes way better than that this
Okay,
week.
fair enough.
Did any of these men save their 2 children from drowning?
No,
and then
Peyton Hillis
defeat
should be
death
it again.
itself?
Can we nominate Peyton Hillis for a second week in a row?
He's
Did we
honorary.
get it? No, we
That
talked
guy.
about Peyton Hillis on Patriot Sports Radio, right?
I'm going to
Yeah.
tell you right now,
Hillis here.
maybe we need to put a ring of honor up on the Corn Pop Ring of Honor and go ahead and put Peyton Hillis on there. and
Cowboy
retire his
kicker.
Stuff. I mean, if you're talking about the Mount Rushmore of Corn Pops, Peyton Hillis made it last week.
Yeah,
Yep.
he did.
Peyton
He did.
Hillis, the chick that fell from an airplane and somehow knifed her way through survival in the jungle.
Yep. Those two in the ring. Put them up.
The
Put 'em
Ring
on
of
the board.
Honor. Well, Peyton
We're going to
Willis,
learn her name again, and then we'll put her in
Peyton
the
Willis,
Ring of
Whatever
Honor.
her
we
name
will
is, she's it.
we're going to retire his number next week. How about that?
Yep.
Yep.
I like it.
He had
I
an
like
ugly
Daniel
number
Jones
too. Wasn't
this
he
week.
like number
Or-
40,
Yeah,
41
I think he was
or
a
something?
44.
that's your kind of number.
That's
too.
all
Larry
star
Zonka,
numbers.
baby.
It's an all-stat number.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh man, I was watching old
Get all
All.
excited.
I was
know,
watching
man.
old
Hey,
Mike Allstott highlights a couple days ago because
Oh.
that's just what I do in my free time, I guess. And
You and me
it's-
both, brother.
One guy, a safety, saw him coming. He got down. He took a knee.
Don't try it.
Still not low
Don't
enough.
try it.
Ran him over.
He's a moving anvil.
He was a beast at Joliet Catholic.
Oh man. That dude.
Same
that dude-
same high school as Rudy. Same high school that beat my high school a couple of times for state championship.
half man, half amazing.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Absolutely. All right. Hour 12. Holy shit. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We truly do appreciate it. Go to your podcast app, subscribe to Patriot Sports Radio, a world famous podcast about sports and random shit we find in the news. Head over to patriotsportsnow.com. Find all of our shows, many podcasts, blogs, forums, bios, all the stuff at Patriots Pod on the Twitter. Jordan, how you doing? How about those Cowboys? Yep. He got in there under the wire with a how about those Cowboys. Not bad. 2023, going to be incredible. So definitely stick around with us. Bring some friends because this shit is about to get awesome. Until next time, be good to each other. Chris, kick the outro music.
You've been listening to Patriot Sports Radio. If you're sick of all the national talking heads and biases of mainstream sports media, like we are, this show is for you. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like, rate, and review. And we'll be back soon. For more content and merch, hit up www.patriotsportsnow.com. Find us on Twitter at PatriotsPod, on Instagram and Facebook at Patriots Sports Now, and on Getter, Rumble, and YouTube at Patriots Sports. Take care, and we'll see you next time.